other Democrats are watching their words?
I think it's certainly possible, but I'm not sure. I mean, I cannot think of or point to any individuals who have said that. I do think that there are Democratic members of Congress who are preparing for that possibility.
How do they prepare?
I think they look to the possibility of litigation. I think they're saying, do we have the best teams possible in order to carry out our work?
Some Republican, or many perhaps, will be watching this, listening to this, and thinking, wait a minute, actually, you're the ones who are prosecuting us. You are the guys who are weaponizing the Justice Department. How would you respond to somebody who may be thinking that?
In what way?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a rising star in the Democratic Party, seemed caught off guard when an NPR host boldly confronted her with her own strategy. That's exactly what made this exchange so striking. It's rare to see a newsroom like NPR challenge AOC so directly. And yet, here we are. The questions were sharp, the tension palpable, and it raises an interesting question. Or did NPR just stumble upon a new sense of courage by accident? Let's take a closer look.
I'm interested if you or your fellow Democrats are at all feeling intimidated or silenced or anything.
I'm not. I think it's important to call this administration's bluff. I think that this is what authoritarians do. I think this is what kleptocracies do. I believe that this is what corrupt administrations do. They rely on the illusion of power, on the suggestion of coercion, in order to try to get people to comply in advance. And I think that one of our largest responsibilities is to not comply in advance. If they want to do these things, they can go ahead and do them and let the American people see what they intend to do.
If you're hearing this conversation for the first time, you might think the left wants a dictatorial government, turning every minor annoyance into a life or death crisis. But that's when things really heat up. The host asked a simple yet sharp question. Is there a sense of stillness on the left? AOC's response didn't come immediately. The silence stretched on, heavy and awkward. She knew there was nothing she could say to twist it, emphasize it, or slide through it without looking foolish. And just when you think the tension has reached its peak, the situation gets even more intense.
Some Republican, or many perhaps, will be watching this, listening to this, and thinking, wait a minute, actually, you're the ones who are prosecuting us. You are the guys who are weaponizing the Justice Department. How would you respond to somebody who may be thinking that?
In what way? In what way? Is the very presence
Putting Trump on trial would be the example.
Yes, I mean, here's the deal. In the United States, there is a jury where we are judged by our peers, and he was found guilty in court on 34 felony charges. If people want to say it was weaponized, I mean, it is hard-pressed to say that there's a partisan argument.
And there it is, a simple question that cuts straight to the heart of the DNC's current talking points. Here's the twist. If you listen closely to AOC in this interview, she essentially acknowledges that the left did use institutional, and she frames it as accountability, but the implication is clear. After that, the interviewer moved the conversation to immigration, and AOC's response was just as revealing.
To what extent is immigration as an issue part of your problem with working class voters?
I mean, I guess my question would be, what does the word problem mean?
People voting for the other side and not for you.
Yeah.
Feeling that Democrats are not serious about the issue in ways that concern them.
I think that we have a problem on immigration because of the lack of progress that we've had on this issue. And as we know, Republicans weaponized that lack of progress. Of course, there was famously a bipartisan bill last year that Republican majority in the Senate and also in the House were willing to pass. President Biden was willing to work with them on it. And Donald Trump said, do not solve this problem.
This is where things start to get truly interesting. And despite lofty promises and carefully crafted moral language, critics argue that Democrats failed to tackle the core immigration challenges while in power. And the issue didn't simply end when Kamala Harris was famously put in charge of the border. It quickly spiraled out of control. The result was one of the worst border crises in recent memory. Wave after wave of arrivals came without a clear long-term plan. Meanwhile, the DNC focused more on symbolism and assumptions about immigrants than on the needs of everyday Americans. As the political reality became unavoidable, The people most affected by the chaos were left to fend for themselves.
It is a problem not just for Democrats, it's a problem for the entire country that Republicans do not want to solve any sort of issue with immigration. They are completely uninterested in addressing undocumented people, in addressing a path to citizenship.
Well, they do want to address undocumented people by removing them. I mean, that's what the president is attempting.
I have to admit, the NPR host's question hit harder than anyone expected.
Why do you think this issue did seem to be a political loser for Democrats among key groups and key constituencies, if what you say is true?
I think that a lack of a path to citizenship in the United States, the lack of addressing comprehensive immigration reform, creates a large population of undocumented people in the United States. We have a large population of undocumented people in the United States. Overwhelmingly, it is not because they crossed the southern border of the United States. It's because they came here in a documented fashion and overstayed a visa and became undocumented. And it is the lack of ability for us to expand paths to citizenship, modernize paths to citizenship over decades that create this.
Honestly, I've never seen AOC get this flustered in an interview, at least not like this. For a moment, you can almost hear her struggling to make her talking points add up. Then she says something that makes you tilt your head. She claims that America's immigration problems come from the lack of a clear path to citizenship. No clear path? Really? How did someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, arriving with a gym bag, an accent, and ambition, become a U.S. citizen? How did I, Omar, a legal refugee, manage to reach Congress? The truth is simple. There is a path. It has always existed, and millions have successfully followed it. But when the left faces tough questions that expose gaps in their nay,
Arizona, which is a swing state that Democrats lost, or Colorado, which is generally a blue state, saying there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of lawlessness.
Yes.
I don't know what to do here. Who's looking out after me?
And I think when that is paired with divestment from the social safety net, when that is paired with lack of progress on minimum wage, when that is paired with rising costs of living, it sets the stage for a strongman to point to any marginalized group and say it's their fault.
In the aftermath of Biden's term, AOC is making a determined effort to distance herself from the chaos she and her party helped create. Watching her act as if she had no role in the border crisis is almost comical. Let's be honest, critics argue that Democrats weakened enforcement, which led to a surge in illegal crossing.
Holman was upset, I suppose, because he felt that you were giving advice to people who were here illegally. Were you?
I was giving advice to all of my constituents.
He said he was going to report you, or even that he did reach out to the Department of Justice. Have you heard from the Department of Justice?
I have not, and I intend on reaching out to the Department of Justice to inquire.
Really? What would your question be for the Department of Justice?
Well, there is a member of the Trump administration who is threatening and seeks to open an inquiry, and are you going to do it?
What would you learn? What do you hope to learn from that exchange?
I think it's important to know where this administration stands and if they intend on using political intimidation to silence their critics.
When the journalist asked AOC why she provides legal aid to people in the country illegally, her expression immediately shifted. In one of those rare, unscripted moments, her carefully prepared talking points collided with reality. She insists that the Democratic Party is committed to addressing illegal immigration, framing it as both policy and humanitarian concern. But critics hear something different, as if she's offering guidance to people who aren't lawfully in the country. And that's exactly where the tension arises.
There is a real risk of lawmakers being investigated, charged, arrested?
Potentially. I mean, we see that this administration is certainly wielding that threat, and we will have to see if they intend on carrying out their threats. If they are to be believed for what they are publicly suggesting, then the answer would be yes. But we will only find out if we call their bluff.
Do you think other Democrats are watching their words?
I think it's certainly possible, but I'm not sure. I mean, I cannot think of or point to any individuals who have said that. I do think that there are Democratic members of Congress who are preparing for that possibility.
It's important to be clear. No one is being silenced here. Freedom from consequences is not the same as freedom of expression. People who spread careless, libelous, or clearly false information will be held accountable. In recent years, countless false narratives, misleading claims, and politically motivated allegations went unchecked. Entire stories were built on shaky foundations to score points. Now, the natural follow-through is happening. Actions have consequences, and if those consequences affect you, it's consistency, not censorship. By the end of the interview, AOC's talking points were revealed to have gaps and contradictions the left couldn't hide. NPR's unexpectedly firm questioning highlighted this even more. If critics think Democrats caused the chaos and are now nervous about accountability, that's exactly why rigorous reporting matters. One-sided narratives no longer cut it. That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed this analysis, click like and subscribe to catch more content like this.